Hey, and welcome to the first edition of the Ask Stef Thomas show, which is what I've decided to call this, and my lawyers have asked me to state that I've never heard of the Ask Gary V show, and I'm not even familiar with the works of the entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk. And the first question was from Sarah Flay, who asked how to network when you're not looking for work but looking for talented people to work on your projects. I think you know the answer to that, Sarah, because you do so much of it, but social media is really your friend here. You've built up such a network over the years that you've been out physically networking. You're connected to all of these people on Facebook and LinkedIn, so just keep an eye on them. Keep watching what people are doing, keep watching what content they're putting out there. You'll spot the good ones. You've already spotted some of them. Lee Rickler, for example, who's already commented on what you've said. You know, he's been there. He's been consistent for 8 or 9 years in what he does. So use your existing network. I know you're not out actively networking at the moment. Use your existing network. Keep in touch with them. Keep watching what they're doing. Next one was Matt, who asked, how do you avoid the referrals and inquiries you don't want without offending the people who could be really good referrers to you? And that's just about education, Matt. That's about making sure that your 60 seconds continues to educate people the type of referrals you're looking for. And those people who are being good enough to give you referrals, if they're not the referrals that you want, pick them up, thank them for them anyway, and then say, listen, this was fantastic. In future, this is really the sort of people that we're looking for. Plus, make sure that your 60 seconds is really specific, continue to educate people, thank the people who are good enough to refer, and continue to work with them. Hope that's helpful. So I've got to my hotel in Glasgow, and it's lovely to be up here. I'm speaking at Expo Scotland tomorrow, big plug for Expo Scotland. Gary Jones, have you written anything, Steph, about how networking isn't confined to networking events but can be done anywhere? Not only have I written about it in my first book, Business Networking for Dummies, but we've got so many free tools available now to make it even easier with social media. Because we can link up with people after we've met them, it means we don't have to, when we talk about networking outside networking events, we don't have to ram our business down people's throats when we meet them. That's not what we're going to do. But those people at the school gates, those people at the pub, those people at the rugby club, wherever it happens to be that you socialise, inevitably they'll be connected to you on social media, and just occasionally you drop into conversation what it is that you do. You put an advert for what you do, particularly for those of us who are self-employed or run our own businesses. And that's how I network as such with the people that I socialise with, if that makes sense. I meet people all over the place, and what I always try and do is connect with them on social media, so that first meeting is the start of the conversation, and then using social media and all of the other things that we've got, we can continue the conversation afterwards. I hope that's helpful, Gary. You have a much more impressive beard than me these days, mate. And finally, last but not least, Jodie Shanahan, how to turn one-to-ones into genuine business inquiries. So, 2 things about this, Jodie. First one is expectation. Not every one-to-one is going to turn into a genuine business inquiry, because people don't go to networking events to be your genuine business inquiry. People go to networking events to sell their own stuff. So that's point 1, just about expectation. Second part is that you have my permission to ask people's permission to follow up. So start doing it if you're not already. The biggest way to turn one-to-ones, for networking one-to-ones I'm talking about specifically, into business inquiries is to continue the conversation after the 10-minute one-to-one. During the one-to-one, ask that person's permission to follow up. If they've shown a bit of interest in what you do, ask their permission to follow up and then do it. Even better, pretty much everyone carries their diary around now, so actually get that next appointment, get that next conversation booked in. I think this is one of the biggest things, and I'm really glad that you've asked a question that people don't do, is actually take action and take control of the conversation. Ask someone's permission to follow up and then do it. Ask someone's permission to get another date in the diary and then actually do it. Take control of the conversation and lead it forward. If they need your service, then don't be ashamed of telling them so and having that conversation, but take control of it, turn the one-to-one into the start of the conversation and take the conversation forward. Jodie, we need to book an hour-long one-to-one because you're booked onto the networking retreat, and therefore you get an hour with me before Christmas to work on all of this stuff. For the rest of you, if you've enjoyed this little lot, if you've got any questions, pop them in. But really, if you want to actually work on this stuff, not just general answers, but work on it and make it work for you, get yourself booked into the networking retreat, and you'll get an hour-long one-to-one with me before Christmas to get all this stuff started. Thank you very much for watching.